What is going on, people? Welcome to another installment of Tony's Take. All right, I'm not gonna make a super long video here because it's not like something that we could get too deep into, but who knows, I'm gonna kind of just go off the top of my head right here. But I need to talk about this tweet because it's very interesting. Now, you know, I've made a lot of videos about Phil Spencer because he always says very interesting things, a lot of things that kind of get him in trouble. But this thing that he said today, I'm like, yes, thank you for saying this, Phil Spencer. Like, he is on the money with this shit, you know, and hopefully some fanboys will take notice, right? So he says, when specific game discussions turn from playing great games to which piece of plastic I own, I feel like we've lost the plot a little bit. Yes, exactly. This whole generation, right, from the beginning has been about the power of the consoles, right? It's just mainly been about that. And I'm like, isn't it supposed to be about the games? Like, I remember when the whole quote-unquote resolution gate was going on, right? This is funny. I was actually called an Xbot, even though I didn't own an Xbox at the time, because I was defending games that were on 900p, right? Okay, yeah, they were running on 900p on Xbox as opposed to 1080p on PlayStation, but there were still games. They were still good, you know? That came up with the whole Tomb Raider definitive edition, right? People were like, oh yeah, the shitty version is on Xbox. But if you only had Xbox and you were playing Tomb Raider, you would have the same exact experience as the dudes that were on PlayStation, right? So that was the first time I'm like, oh, this generation is a little bit weird. See, last generation, was so beautiful about last generation was it lasted so long that the whole talk about console power and specs eventually went away and we just focused on games, right? And that's what it should always be about. It should always be about games. But lately, it's been all about power and everything. Now that, you know, we have the mid-gen consoles, PlayStation 4, Scorpio's coming, the Switch is out. Now everybody's talking about power again. Talking about power. What about the games, man? It's like, okay, you could have the most powerful system on earth, but if it doesn't have any games, then what's the point? Like, I think somebody on Twitter said this to me. It's like having a Ferrari with no gas in it. Yeah, it looks nice, but you can't do much other than look at it, you know? And then, like, as Manny has said on Twitter many times, what are you guys gonna do? You're gonna go onto the street with their consoles in the air, waving them around? It's like, okay, that's great. What about the games, you know? And Phil Spencer, he's 100% right about that. We have lost the plot here. The plot is supposed to be, what games are you playing? How awesome are they? People don't talk about that shit anymore. People don't sit down and go, hey, what game are you playing? What do you like about it? What do you dislike about it? We don't really have discussions on games anymore. It's about, oh, your console's a piece of shit. You know, my console's better. That's the conversation's about it. So it's like, okay, so we're not talking about games. Maybe we shouldn't put, you know what? I'm going to say this. Maybe we should stop putting out games for these systems, right? Just buy consoles and worship them. It's completely insane, you know? And then the other thing I need to say real quick is what I find hilarious is I'm seeing dudes in this thread, you know, Tim Dog and Jeff Bartram, right? They're in there saying, yeah, Phil, you're right. It's all about the games, man. It's about plastic. Very funny coming from two of the biggest Xbox like proponents out there. And I'm being nice about what I'm calling these guys right now. You know, these guys are hardcore fanboys, you know? And the thing is, like, if you want to have a preference for whatever system, that's perfectly fine, right? I personally have a preference for PlayStation because I feel they put out the better games. But at the same time, I own every other system because games come first before everything. You could have a preference for a system, but you shouldn't be worshiping a console the way some of these guys do, you know? So I hope that Phil Spencer has like reached out to these guys and really made them understand, whether it's on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, PC, don't matter, man. Great games are great games. And if they're great, you should just buy them, you know? Stop with the rhetoric about, you know, which console's better. Stop with all that bullshit. Just play your games. Be gamers, you know? Don't be a corporate shill. You know, these companies, they don't need you to worship them like that. Just buy the games and be happy. Phil, thank you for saying this, man. All right, so that's going to do it for this video. But before I leave, I do want to quickly thank everyone who helped us make it to 1,000 subscribers, man. It's a great thing. You know, this last year specifically has seen tremendous growth for this channel, and it is largely in part because of these Tony's Takes, because again, you guys like more daily content. I can't bring you daily content obviously because I don't want to force these Tony's Takes, but at the same time, I do want to give you a little bit more. You know, we were doing really well with 2 shows a week, but now, you know, YouTube has changed, time has changed, and people want more content. While I can't, you know, deliver daily content, you know, because I don't want to bring down the quality of shit. It is giving you more, and you guys have definitely responded to that. So I want to thank everybody again for that, because it's very, very much appreciated. I want to hit that goal of 2,000 by the end of the year. So let's make it happen, man. So yeah, again, hit like on this video, share it, comment, all that good jazz, man. All right. Once again, I was Tony, and I'll see you next time. Later.